Game Informer just revealed some more RE4 Remake gameplay, which shows parts of the iconic cabin fight, as well as some footage of other areas in the village at night. In this video, we will be breaking down the new gameplay scene by scene to uncover any hidden details you might have missed. So with that being said, let's get right into it. The gameplay starts in the church right after Leon finds Ashley. Some Ganados enter in through the front door, so Leon and Ashley look for another way to escape without being noticed. Right off the bat, we can see a pretty clear look at the church puzzle from the original being on the first floor, and it also looks like there is no chandelier to swing across from on the second floor. Ashley and Leon then make their way up into the newly added third floor of the church and proceed to jump out of the window to flee from the Ganados. From there, we get our first look at the communication call with Hunnigan, and while the two are talking, we can see that Ashley is now able to climb down ladders herself. We then get a better look at the village map, and like I said before, I will be breaking this map down in a separate video, so stay tuned for that. Leon then opens up a chest containing an elegant headdress, which most of you know was a treasure from the original, and much later in the gameplay they actually also reveal the elegant mask, so it seems that they will be bringing back most of the treasures from the original. Leon and Ashley then proceed to the front of the church, where we get our first look at the new stealth attack Leon can perform. When Leon takes out this enemy, you can see that the enemies will have the opportunity to drop knives, which is very good to see since these weapons have been heavily incorporated in this remake. From there, a little further into the gameplay, we can see Leon fire his shotgun at a huge cluster of enemies, which unfortunately doesn't seem to do that much. In the original, firing a shotgun at this range would have all those Ganados flying back on the ground, but in the remake, it looks heavily nerfed. Next, Leon opens his inventory, where we can see a newly added bolt thrower weapon and the arrows that it holds. Now this weapon is going to be very helpful because not only does it have suppressed firing, but it also has the ability to shoot landmines and damage any Ganado in the general area that the mine has been fired in. So it's definitely going to be a nice gun to have. After opening the inventory, Leon throws a flash grenade at the Plaga exposed enemies, and fortunately we can see that it insta-kills the enemies just like in the original. A minor detail to point out in the scene is the fact that the path that was once wide open in the original is now blocked off with a door. From there, Leon and Ashley progress through the cemetery, where we get a look at one of the new side quests, where you can shoot some emblems on the tombstones. After this, Leon shoots down a bird's nest in a tree, which is something I'm very happy to see return from the original. Next, Leon and Ashley keep moving forward until they find the iconic merchant. The player then goes to the sell menu, where we can see two new items, being the insignia key and the hexagon piece A. Both of these were key items from the original, with the insignia key being used to unlock the town hall and the hexagon piece being used to open the door in the second chapter. So in the remake, it looks like after you are finished with the key items, you are then able to sell them for a small amount of money, which is a neat little touch to add. Then the player opens the buy screen, where we can see the red 9, first aid spray, a rocket launcher, and 3 different recipes, one for flash grenades, one for bolts, and one for the mine rounds for the crossbow weapon. Something that is interesting is that the rocket launcher is now 80,000 pesetas, whereas in the original it was only 30,000, which I totally understand why they did this, because 30,000 pesetas is so easy to come by, so you were pretty much able to cheese just about every single boss with this weapon. With it now being 80,000 pesetas, you're gonna have to be really picky with which bosses you will use it on. From there, Leon finds a new quest flyer, where the player has to take out a wild dog that has been roaming around the village. The flyer mentions that this dog is located at the chief's house. From there, we can see Leon and Ashley walking through the village town hall, which in the original, this was the building the Ganados were seen going in after the church bell rang. This clip was also the same area shown in the second RE4 Remake trailer. We can see that when compared to the original, this building is a lot bigger. In the very beginning, we can see a small icon for what I'm going to assume is a file. Then we move forward a bit, where we can see some breakable boxes that have the yellow paint on them so they're easier to see. Leon then walks outside, and right away you can see a ton of crumbled debris. All of this debris is actually from the big tower in the main village area. The playtesters did say that Dr. Salvador would break this building down if you attempt to climb it, and it's crazy seeing it in the game. Leon then approaches a Ganado and quickly takes it out, and right here we can see that another path in the village has been completely blocked off. The path that's blocked off is on the very outskirts of the main village area behind this building. From there, Leon jumps through the back window of this house here and proceeds to make his way out to the center of the village with the TMP in hand. Leon then proceeds to shoot a Ganado in the leg and and use a new kick attack to knock them down. Someone in my Discord mentioned that this kick attack was actually something that was used in the beta version of RE4, which it's nice to see them bringing back a ton of scrapped mechanics like this. Then we move to the chief's house, where we can see some type of symbol being hung up, which actually looks pretty similar to this symbol we saw in the first trailer. There were some people that brought up the similarities with this symbol from the Resident Evil 8 symbol, which has led many people to believe that there will be some connections between the two games. But as of now, this is just a theory, and we're just gonna have to wait and see until we get further details. Now, once the player walks inside, it's kinda hard to see much of anything since it's pitch black. But right here in the screenshot, you can see a ton of pictures on the wall, with a lot of them including the Los Illuminados symbol. And right next to these paintings, we can once again see that symbol that was hung up outside and shown in the first trailer. Then the player walks up the stairs to the second floor, where we can see a few pictures of Sadler hung up. And then we walk into this room here, which was actually the same room in the original where Ada showed up and shot the chief through the window. Now, as you can see, the window isn't cracked in the gameplay. However, we have to keep in mind that this was an optional cutscene in the original. So as of now, I don't think we can 100% guarantee that this scene was removed in the remake. Now, after this, Leon and Ashley make their way up to the newly added third floor of the house. Then from there, the gameplay goes back to the main village area, where we can see this dog from the side quest jump out and attack the player. And then from there, it skips to the next area in the village, which is the small farm area. And in this gameplay, we can see that this area in specific has a few changes, but it seems to be mostly similar to the original layout. As you can see, when compared to the original, they both have this center barn, and they both have this building here with the small bridge. And just outside of that, if we keep going through the footage, the whole area looks to be mostly similar to the original. One change that does stand out is the big windmill from the original seems to be a lot bigger and potentially even explorable in the remake. Now, as we get further into the gameplay, we can see that the blue medallions will be returning in the remake, which is definitely cool to see. Next, Leon and Ashley cross the bridge on their way to the cabin. If you look up at the very top of this scene, I think this might be a view of the cable car lift system we take to reach the Chief Mendez fight. I could be wrong, but I really think that's what this looks like. Now from here, we move on to the cabin fight, and just before the Ganados arrive, we have a small cutscene where Luis nervously says, quote, "Hey, about earlier," and then Leon says, quote, "Yeah, about that," which seems to be implying that Luis might have backstabbed Leon earlier in the game. Maybe he fled and left Leon to deal with Chief Mendez himself in their first interaction. We will just have to wait and see. Now right off the bat, we can see that this cabin has a lot more room to walk around when compared to the original, which was much needed. We first see Leon pick up some wooden planks, which can be used to cover a single window of your choosing. Now another noticeable difference we can see is that the remake gives two different options to reach the second floor, being the stairs and the newly added ladder, which might be able to act as an escape route if you need to get away from the horde of Ganados on the second floor. We can also see that there is an added window right next to the stairs, meaning more entryways for the Ganados to make their way inside the cabin. Now further into the gameplay, we move on to the second floor, where we see Luis is able to get grabbed by Ganados, and you have to shoot the Ganado to free him, just like in the original. On the second floor, it looks like there will be two windows on the side. A balcony will replace the back window, and instead of there being a front window, there is now a door that leads into another room, which could possibly be where Ashley is hiding in. As we get further into this clip, we can see a Ganado holding a new weapon, being some type of machete. Right after Leon takes out these two Ganados, we can see that one of them starts to convulse on the ground, causing the player to quickly kill him before he gets up. Because as we know, Game Informer revealed that if you don't take out these enemies that start to convulse, they will then get back up and be much stronger than before. So when you see enemies like this, you're gonna want to take them out as soon as possible. Next, we see the new bullhead enemy aggressively run upstairs and dart towards the player with its swing attack. And as he goes to attack, we can see a button prompt that allows the player to dodge. So there will be some dodging in this game, but I don't think it will be too much like RE3 Remake's dodge system. In this attack, we can also see that it depleted Leon's health from full all the way to one shot. So with that said, it's best to keep a safe distance when going against this bull enemy. From there, we move on to some gameplay of the inventory, where we see the elegant mask has returned from the original. We can see the 3 gems for the elegant mask, and we can see 3 more gems under that, which I'm going to assume are the 3 gems that you combine with the cup treasure in the village. Then we go to the save menu, menu, which reveals a big change to the remake, being that each typewriter will act as a weapon storage box. So not only do you have the case to store weapons, but you also have the item box just in case you run out of space in your briefcase. Then the player goes to the customized case section, where we can see that there will be different types of cases and charms that you can use that will give small bonuses. So the silver case will increase the drop rate for handgun ammo, the black case will increase drop rate for resources, and the chicken charm will give you 100% health recovery with all egg types. And there you have it, guys. That was pretty much all of the new RE4 Remake gameplay reveals. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and with that being said, I will see you guys next time.